Hey guys, RedPandaMining here. Hope you're doing well. Having a really great day. I just unboxed a new Goldshell KA Box Pro. This is a 1.6 terahash Kaspa miner that does supposedly around 600 watts. We're gonna verify that in today's video here. I'm gonna power it on, we're gonna see how it performs, and we'll also do a comparison against the other Kaspa miners that are out in the market right now. How efficient is this 1.6 terahash at around 600 watts Kaspa miner from Goldshell? So this is the second version of, I guess, the KA box from Goldshell. They did have a 1.18 terahash version at around 400 watts. Mine was sometimes around 370, 375 watts at like 1.2 terahash. So give or take, you know, plus or minus 5 or 10% in terms of the performance there. Silicon lottery. But looking at this in first impression, you guys can see there's 3 6-pin PCIe ports on here, not 2. Okay, so the KA box had 2, and now this KA Box Pro has 3. So that's a given because this is going to pull about 600 watts versus the first gen one, which was 400 watts. Ethernet, of course, indicator lights here. Okay, also this does have Wi-Fi as well here, and I'm just going to screw this in because I am going to utilize the Wi-Fi on this thing, because that is pretty much the, I guess, the whole point of like this box miner here, the mini, like, you know, the mini Doge 3s, mini Doge, or the mini Doge 2 miners, you know, those had the Wi-Fi, and a lot of people like that because they were able to put this around their house. So yeah, I guess this is meant for home miners, as a lot of people that don't want to spend big bucks on the, you know, the bigger miners that are out there for, you know, like Kaspa, for instance. So in this case, it seems a little bit more attainable in a way, but we'll talk about the price of this thing later on. So let's go ahead and turn this thing on, guys. I have 3 PCIe power cables I'm going to be utilizing from theveteranminer.com. If you guys are interested in these types of cables that go into, you know, normally an HP server PSU with a breakout board like this, I got this from Parallel Miner, just a 750 watt PSU, and so this can also run on 120 volt at 750 watts, but today I'm going to be running this on 240 volt. Okay, let's plug in the cables here. Okay, next thing I'm going to plug into the Goldshell KA Box Pro. Okay, now next I need to get an Ethernet cable. This is to obviously get into it firsthand. Okay, now I'm going to plug it in the power. There we go. Okay, now let's go ahead and turn her on. Let's see how it performs. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you guys can probably hear some fan noises. It's not from this. This is probably going to be generally quiet. The original KA box was quiet. There also was a recent firmware update that also lowered the target temperature to, I think, 75 degrees Celsius. And so that helped with the, I guess, the temperature of the miner that was getting pretty hot, in my opinion, over 80 to 82 degrees Celsius. So for anyone that has the older KA box, I highly recommend doing a firmware update. Okay, so it's just coming online now. Sounds like it's gonna be a little bit louder. Okay, so it's just starting up here. I'll show you guys the power consumption once it starts mining. Okay, so I'm gonna get the IP address, I'm gonna set it up, and we'll see how it performs. Be right back. Okay, so thank you to CryptoMinerBros.com for sending me the KA Box Pro. The price is $2449. Okay, so almost $2,500 here. If you guys do decide to buy one, I do want to talk about the risks involved buying this specific model. You can use code RedPanda for $50 off if you are interested. Okay, so I have already set up the KA Box Pro here. It's been mining for a good almost an hour now. And you guys can see the general hash rate here has been average around 1.6 terahash here, or 1615 gigahash. Okay, the temperature here, okay, which is, to my surprise, it looks like Goldshell has fixed this in terms of lowering the target temperature on this miner at 75 degrees Celsius. So I did do a thermal gun test, and it shows on the back there at around 76 degrees Celsius. So it looks like that is true to what Goldshell has done. So they raised the fan speed in the miner, and it seems like it's performing well, quite well. At much lower temperature here than like normally 82 degrees Celsius was the target temperature. So it looks like 75 now with I have about 82 Fahrenheit ambient temperatures at this current time. So looking at the pool here, I'm mining to kaspapool.org. And yeah, past 30 minutes, it shows 1.67 terahash, so the advertised hash rate. We are getting what it is advertised, okay? So it is working. Mining just good here. I was looking at the GitHub for Goldshell. There is not a firmware update for the KA Box Pro, but there is a firmware update. I did talk about it briefly with the KA Box, okay, non-pro. So there's a new firmware update, 2.2.7 here. I'll have it linked down below in case anyone has it. I've already updated mine, and it seems like the target temperatures have been lowered on the KA box. Okay, so it looks to be pretty good for the KA box there with that new Goldshell firmware. Okay, so how's the profitability? Okay, so this is where I want to talk about, I guess, the risks involved in buying the KA Box Pro here. We're going to compare it to some other miners here that are out in the market, and of course just go through some other risks involved that we all should understand when buying Kaspa miners specifically. Okay, so let's go through first the profitability currently, okay, which could change every day. As we know, Kaspa's emission schedule is quite aggressive, but we've also seen some crazy price appreciation with Kaspa as well, so we can't discredit that. But anyways, current profitability of this 1.6 terahash model would be about $8.31, and the yield currently would be about 45 Kaspa a day. Okay, so the profit after about 10 cent kilowatt or 8 cent kilowatt hour be about $7.16. If you had, let's just say 12 cents kilowatt hour, you would be profiting about $6.46, okay, after electric. If you had free power, of course, you'd be earning $8.19. But that could change better or for worse, as you know, potentially the network hash rate could keep climbing, okay, which it very well has. Okay, so this is a risk in itself for Kaspa mining. It's been climbing and climbing every single month. On average, I think about, was it like 14 to 20% on average, the network hash rate has been climbing. But with that though, the Kaspa price has also been appreciating as time goes on here, and just recently we had a big bump in price from 14 cents to about 18 cents for Kaspa over the past 7 days here as of recording. So Bitcoin has been going up as well. Okay, so whether or not you find value currently where we are in the state of the market. Okay, so now how efficient is this KA Box Pro? Okay, so this here advertised 1.6 terahash or 1600 gigahash at about 600 watts. Okay, so right now I have mine entered in here, KA Box Pro RPM 84 Fahrenheit. I'm getting about 1607 gigahash. At the wall there, yeah, you guys can see my, ambient temperatures roughly. So yeah, the efficiency is not as good as, let's say, a regular KA box. And of course, we got a bunch of newer models that have come out from Ice River, like the KS0 Ultra, which does about 400 gigahash at 100 watts, so that's a 0.25 in efficiency. So I would say that's a good 1x efficiency against the KA Box Pro and the KS0 Ultra. And the biggest thing here to consider, okay, if you were to buy one of these KA Box Pros, which, okay, does a pretty good amount of hash rate, but what if you were to buy maybe 4 of these KS0 Ultras right now on Ice River's website, which is around $300, $400. I mean, Crypto Miner Bros also sells the KS0 Ultra as well for $659 though, give or take. You have to think about the tariffs that Ice River is involved with these things. Depends where you live. I think in the United States, anything under $800, you don't have to pay customs, I believe, but don't quote me on that. Anyone else in the world, I'm not quite sure of the tariffs. But anyways, keep that in mind. Looking at the dollar per gigahash here, if you were to buy a KA Box Pro right now, that would be $1.53 per gigahash. gigahash. So going down the list here, the better value looks like would be the KS0 Ultra, which is at $1 per gigahash at the moment, okay, roughly. Now, if you were to go down the list, obviously, as you get into the big boy miners like the KS5M, there's this new Dragon Ball KS6, which is not as efficient as the KS5L or KS5M, or even the KS5 Pro, these are under $1 per gigahash, all right? So these have obviously a better value here, and so these would obviously last longer in terms of mining, and your dollar value that you're spending on these bigger boy miners would be a lot more effective in a way, and more competitive against if you were to mine with these smaller box miners. But the whole point, in my opinion, regarding these smaller miners, even though the KS0 Ultra, the KA Box Pro, is that they're smaller form factor, lower heat, they don't make much noise, and yeah, they're for home miners specifically. And for those that want to support Kaspa, this is a good way to go with these smaller types of miners. Okay, so can't discredit that in terms of that regard. Okay, so all right, guys, so there you guys go. There's some information regarding the risks involved mining Kaspa, especially with, you know, wanting to purchase one of these KA Box Pros. I feel like the price should come down a bit more, because you can buy 4 of these KS0 Ultras, and that would be about, what, around $1,700 versus the KA Box Pro, which is $2,400. If you use code RedPanda, it's $2,400 all-in pricing on Crypto Miner Bros. And Crypto Miner Bros also does lower the duties and taxes as well, the value of the miner, so you don't have to pay duties and taxes. Okay, so guys, let me know what you think. Also, if you're looking for a Tangem wallet, check out redpanda.tangem.com. I have a link down below. This is a great cold storage wallet I use personally for a lot of my crypto, including Kaspa. Okay, so cold storage wallet. You guys get 3 RPM Tangems here, 2 backup cards, and yeah, this is a great way to be your own self-custodian for your own crypto. Your private keys are stored on here, and it's a great way to store your crypto. Link down below. Use code RPM for 10% off if you're interested. And yeah, guys, the KA Box Pro seems to be performing just fine. Okay, so there you guys go, the KA Box Pro. This is one where I've been asked from numerous people if I would do a review, and well, here it is. Yeah, it seems to be working just fine. You guys can see the power consumption. It's not at the advertised power consumption. I guess it's because of my ambient temperature is a little bit hotter. So it looks like this thing is drawing just a little bit more power. It is definitely pumping out a good amount of heat, but it does seem like the target temperature has dropped, and so the temperatures overall are lower because the fan speeds definitely feel like they are ramped up. So that is definitely a lot better than the first generation, and they did fix that with the firmware update on the KA box. So that is great. So good job on Goldshell for fixing that. I'm glad they did that and they listened. So let me know what you guys think about this KA Box Pro, if you think it's a good buy or not. I did show some other options there, but if you guys are interested in ordering this, feel free. Link down below to cryptominerbros.com. Use code RedPanda for $50 off. Now, if anyone has watched all the way to the end of this video, my loyal viewers, my loyal subscribers of the Red Panda Mining channel, guys, put your Kaspa address down below. I am going to give away 2 days worth of mining hash rate from this KA Box Pro. Okay, so get your Kaspa address down below, and as well as your opinion on this KA Box Pro. Okay, so just those 2 requirements: your Kaspa address and your opinion of the KA Box Pro. All right, I appreciate you all for watching. Let me know your guys' thoughts. I'll see you all in the next video. Have a good one. Peace out. I love the 3 PCIe connectors. Makes it awesome. Nice and legit. I like that. I like that. More power.